Okay, where I got the red light on. All right. Anyway, 20 years ago, I was you guys sitting here, getting ready to teach my first class, and not really knowing what the heck or how the heck I was going to go about it. And I remember sitting in school, getting ready for my first day with students, thinking, "Gosh, I just graduated, and I still don't have a clue what the hell I'm doing." So I thought, when Jessica asked me about the white top stuff, to show you a little bit about how we can use the white top performative assessment, I told them I'd really like to show you guys some tricks of the trade that I picked up that you guys can use your first days out, either you're subbing or just first in the classroom that you can use for all ages. So with that, my name is Chad Lemley, and I've lived in Wyoming over 30 years. Right now my home's Riverton. I don't know where the heck. And you can see my dinosaur laptop here. So this is PowerPoint, and my fifth graders, of course now that they're Google Chromesters, and so I keep telling them, all right, well, you need to open up a Google slide or open up a PowerPoint. And Mr. Lemon, what's PowerPoint? Oh my gosh, it's like texting like they did back in the dinosaur days. So anyway, I had many jobs, and I don't know, this is going to be great with this, but many jobs. When I lived in Laramie, I peeled logs out of Centennial. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area out there. I worked at Godfather's Pizza. What else did I do while I was here? And then I worked at the Blue Beacon Truck Wash, washing trucks on the graveyard shift, and then put myself through school. Those kind of experiences, I worked around teachers too who just went straight through school, and they had, life was good for them. They didn't have to work. But I thought, you kind of miss out a little bit of the boat if you don't work in public a little bit. So, but anyway, let's see what else is going to happen with this. Graduated UW in '99. So that was when the time we thought when we were all sitting up way late on New Year's Eve waiting for the world to end, like the computers were all going to blow out. And it didn't happen. So glad to live through that one. My first year teaching is when 9/11 happened. So I was teaching on a reservation school at St. Stephen's at the time. My first assignment was 13 students. One of them was a girl. She was the toughest one in class too, I can tell you what. Quite an interesting go around with that. One time, of course, they're all native students. And they said, "Mr. L," one of them said, about my first month in, "My mom signed a piece of paper that wanted to get rid of all the white teachers here. What do you think about that?" I was like, "Well, until I get that pink piece of paper, you're going to go ahead and get your math book out, and we're going to get going." And that's where I kind of learned that kids are kids, no matter where you teach. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit hard is the adults you got to deal with. And if you end up working with some Native American students or all Native American students in your class, you'll figure out that that you're not trying to whiten them up and you're not trying to be an Indian. So it's kind of one thing I want to share with you guys too, wherever you go, that hey, the kids will be kids and they'll respect you for who you are. Might take a little while to warm up. I've been teaching for 18 years, 5 years at a reservation school, 3 years in Riverton, and then the last 10 at Wind River. All in that 5th, 6th grade realm. 5th grade's right where I like to live. Been at it for 10 years. They still won't let me move up. It's just the right age. They still want to please. They still they want to work hard, and they're right at that edge of being smartasses, and that's kind of fun for me too. Keeps me young. That's why I'm here. I don't know. It looks like the first one's going to work good. I don't know what's going to happen to the next one, but I told you a little bit. Wanted to give you some management tips for you to use right away, and hopefully some stuff that you'll remember forever. And the second reason is show you how I use the white top to help me make data-driven decisions. So these two pieces here, as you guys go into your careers, are going to be very important as you're dealing with administrators and with students. These two pieces here is what's going to keep you your job, keep your sanity, keep you effective. So we're going to do a quick activity, and it's one of my favorite things. There's a gentleman out by the name of Kagan, forget his first name, but he has a whole bunch of structures, and it's a nice kind of cooperative, collaborative grouping. And so this first one's called mixed pair share. So I'll give you the directions, and you guys are going to get up, and I'm going to run this just like the way I run my room. The best way to learn these things is to do them yourselves. So the rules for this, what we're after is It's embedded with community building, teaching kids social skills. One of the things we face today is, how do we have time to teach kids social skills? Well, you can't do it in 30-minute sessions. Okay, put your math books away, it's time to learn social skills. No, you got to do it in the middle of everything because that's the way we do it anyway. So there's things in here that help embed some of those pieces. So you'll see in bold what I mean by that. So when the music plays, you'll get up and you'll walk around, and you're going to greet people as you pass. Hey, how you doing? Once the music stops, you're going to raise your hands. And you're going to partner up with the person closest to you. And then you'll exchange greetings. Hey, how's it going? How's your break? Keep your hands raised till you get a partner. And when you're using this with kids, you really got to emphasize the person closest to you, because they'll have their buddies, they'll be walking around, that music will stop, they'll say, oh, that's not who I want to partner up with. Or you got the chaser, like the shadow man, they'll just be following their best friend the whole time. And then the music's on, oh, hey, good to see you. You want to get them to move around and go in different directions. And you could also put that, I kind of cue them with that too, is, hey, get with somebody you haven't been with for a while. Migrate to the middle if you can't find a partner. Then out to the perimeter once you got one. It's kind of a nice way. It's like, can't find a partner, so I go to the middle, find the partner real quick, then we migrate out so that way we can partner up quick. There's usually always an odd man out. So you help folks partner up. Hey, somebody over there needs a partner. And in that instance where there is an odd man out, you invite him in. Closest group, hey, come join us. We could be a triad. Then what you'll do is you'll quietly review the question and think about what you'll say during your allotted time to talk. You must speak for the whole time. Usually get like 30 seconds. Partner A will go first, or partner B. I'll show you how that works. We've got a random selector for this. Kind of a fun way to do it. Partner runs out of things to say. The other partner will ask probing questions. We ask, where'd you go? Keep them talking. This is a real important one for kids too. Teach them how to be interested in others. I like this one too because a lot of times when kids have problems, they don't realize how many things they actually have in common. And when I think of things like, our Columbines and our school shootings like that, this is what helps deter that. We got to help them with community building. It can't just be something taught outside. It's got to be part of our day all the time. So, with that, I think, and after you're done, partners thank each other. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling me about what you did this weekend. Now with kids, they'll start off, and I'll tease them too because fifth graders are fun for that. You could say, thank you, like you did in kindergarten. Tell your teacher, thank you. Oh yeah, that meant a lot. No, be specific. Hey, thanks for sharing that you have 4 dogs. I think with that, then after that you kindly part ways and we'll start it over again. So, what we'll do is we're going to give it a go. And let's blow this up big. This is a piece of software that comes, it's called Mixed Pair Share. So what will happen is this. As soon as that music starts, you'll stand up, you're pushing your chairs, and you're going to start moving around. When that music stops, you're going to get with the person closest to you and pair up. Then a question's going to pop up. And for kids, the first couple are fun. It's to get them talking. And then you can get into some more of your content-driven stuff. It might be a math problem. But again, first thing is to kind of loosen them up. So with that, go ahead, please stand up. Pushing your chair so you can wander about the room. And see if this is going to work for us. All right. Start walking around. Now, here's the fun part with kids. You'll see them start shaking their tail feathers. Good stuff. Right now, you guys can just... Another music option. If your kids are rowdy, stirring them like that.
Telling each other. I don't know.
About 10 more seconds.
I have a shadow. I'm surprised he's right
And
now.
hands up, pair up. Person closest to you. What you got? Got a partner? There you go. I can see pairs starting to form together. Everybody got a partner? We got an odd man out.
Awesome. If you're alone.
Oh, we got an odd man out. So what do we do? Invite him in. Yeah, come join us. Next time that happens, I want to hear people yelling, "Hey, over here!" Here's your question. Remember, you're just gonna thinking about your question first. Well, I guess did you have a chance to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Do that right now. Hey, how's it going? So everything you do right now, you do with kids. I don't care if they're in kindergarten or if they're seniors in high school or seniors in college. It's good for all ages. And it's kind of funny because sometimes you got to force those elementary kids or maybe even some middle schoolers. Okay, and I've got to do this with my current fifth grade right now. No groups of 2 boys. And so then they do the math in their head and you can hear the gears grind. Wait a minute, I got to be with a girl? Yeah, you do. And so you just got to let them know, hey, I didn't ask you to get married. I just said be partners for right now. You got to work with people. Here you go. Here is your question you're just thinking right now. So you're going to have 30 seconds to answer this question. You're going to keep talking about it until your time is up. Now, person whose head is closest to the ceiling, so you can hear gears grinding, the tall one. You are partner A. A's, raise your hands. This is what you would do for kids too. A's, raise your hands so you know who you are. That doesn't mean you're going first. That just means you're partner A. Let's see who goes first. This is our random selector. This is where kids start putting money down. All right, A, B, A. Now, whichever one comes up, you celebrate. So if you're B's, you're celebrating. Yay, I don't have to go first. B's, you celebrate because you don't have to go first. Here you go. Let's see who goes first. B's, you will start. You have 30 seconds. B's, ready, go. Perfect vacation.
I don't know, somewhere in the Cascades and it'd be sweet. This can't be right too bad. Yeah, we're gonna get to a
And time. So that was a long 30 seconds, wasn't it? Because it got stopped at 29. What is going on? Okay. So what we're going to do for this one, partner 2, you get 45 seconds, and this is why. There's a team of 3. So that team of 3, what will happen is one person will go for 22 seconds. The other person's got about 23. Does that make sense? So when I say team of 3 switch, you guys got that, okay? You guys ready? Oh! Listener, thank your partner for sharing. Go ahead. All right, ready? Here's another way to kind of help with that community building. Who'd like to share what their partner said? This is the part where I get to pick a volunteer. Thank you.
Ryan here said that she is not a big warm weather person because it makes her cranky, so London is
very
her
cool.
ideal location for rain, and you can wear a trench coat all the time.
Very good. Now, was that partner paying attention to the speaker? That's what we're after, yes. Okay. One more volunteer. Back.
Ariel said that she wants to go somewhere hot. I asked her if she wanted to go somewhere to the beach. She doesn't care, just somewhere hot. She's sick of the cold. But she would really like to go to Ireland and see some castles.
Very cool. Paying attention to your partner. All right. Hey, 45 seconds. Remember, you got 22 back there. I'll let you know. Partner 3 switch. Ready? Your turn. Remember, keep them talking and go.
I've never been to the awesome to go there. First, Well, no, just like warming up. A lot of sports are really I think that would
Hey, that's your signal?
Yeah, so they're going next.
Thank you, partners, for sharing. And before you part ways, let's hear from somebody. Gentleman right here. What's your partner say?
He likes camping anywhere that's comfortable, like where it's warm out and not too bad to sleep at night near water. He likes Escalante.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Your water partner is definitely paying attention. Gentleman here.
Hunter said that he would want to go to Australia just because all the different animals and stuff. He's an ag, so that really interested him, and also because the weather.
Very cool. So like the way he started off, hey, he told us who his partner was. So again, part of that acknowledgement and community building too is, hey, the partner's got a name, is what they said. And this also helps kids with talking. Puts them on the spot. If you do this enough, kids won't even be aware that they're chatting in public. Okay? So, with this, tell your partners, see you later. Take a walk.
See you later.
Sorry.
All right, hands up. Hair up. If you don't have a partner, make your way to the middle. Hold your hands up high. Help point people. There's somebody in the back. Nice, good. I heard somebody. Hey, join us. That's what we want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, you will have the one kid every time that will always be. Nobody picks me. Nobody picks me. I've got a kid that does it all the time. Like, dude, I just saw you at recess. You guys are playing and running around all over the place. How come in here it's poor me? So sometimes you got to call them out on that. But this is where you can say, hey, too, hey, I just heard those people yelling for you. And you do. And you see their shoulders kind of pucker up a little bit. It's kind of nice, straighten up. That's that community building. Here's your question. What's your dream grade or subject to teach when you're finished here? Think about that. You're going to have 30 seconds to answer that. Remember, if the speaker runs out of things to say, what do you do? Your partner runs out of things to say, what do you do? There you go. You prompt them. Hey, I want kids to talk to me. I got to let them know. The quiet's not going to work. Answer me. So that's what everything I'm doing for you, do for your kids. Here you go. A's. You're the ones with the longest hair. You got kids that'll be like, I think I'm just a little bit longer than you. All right. A's, raise your hands. Who's my ace? Okay, let's see who goes first. Any guesses? Kids love trying to guess this. What do we do? Yes! Mama B, yes, I don't have to go first. All right. You have 30 seconds. A's, you do get to go first. Here you go. Timer is set. Let's put it at 30. And go. Dream job. Hey. Was 30 seconds long enough? No, not for that one. Okay. Sometimes you'll notice that too with kiddos. Gosh, maybe we'll go ahead and we'll bump it up again. Let's hear some share outs. People that were listening, tell me something what'd your partner say?
So this is Leah, and secondary math right now, and so she was really hoping for someday teaching like AP math or AP computer science.
Cool, cool. Way to pay attention, partner. How about you? Yes, please.
Oh, we had a little mishap, but this is Liz. And,
Liz wet the table. We won't call her out on that. Poor thing. These things happen in all classrooms, you know.
Yeah.
It's all good. Go ahead.
In Spanish. So
Spanish?
Secondary.
Okay.
But I know that we're in practicum together. So,
Oh, okay. So you
yeah,
kind of knew that.
that's-
Okay. All right. How about over here? Triad over here.
This is Haley.
Okay.
She wants to teach first grade because that is a time in the child's life when they're very impressionable or stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, while we're at it, how many K1-2? Who's my K1-2 folks in here? That's going to be your dream spot. K1-2. Cool. How about that 3rd through 5th grade, that intermediate age? Okay. Good. They're a little bit more dependent. How about our middle school? Middle school? Okay, if they push me, all right, I could go there. And at my high school folks? Okay. And you know, it's right there that kindergarten and middle school is, they say that those teachers have special places in heaven. And you can kind of see here, we got middle school, not yet. I guess if you throw it on me, I guess, but come on, that's a rough age. Okay, switch it up. You'll have 45 seconds this time. At 22, I'll let you guys know when to switch, okay? So one thing you're going to have to plan, too, is when you only have 30 seconds, you got to be able to wrap it up, too. Here you go. Okay, next time, 45 seconds, and go. Okay. So again, great communication. It's nice to see people looking at each other. Of course, with our age, we understand how that works, but with kids, it's so important to point it out. I see people nodding their heads. I see people looking at each other. I see smiling faces. Point that out. That's what kids need to hear. They need to hear it all the time. Hey, so, and you can be specific when you thank your partner. Hey, thanks for sharing with what grade you want to teach, and then part ways. Go ahead and go. Thank you.
Oh no.
Music's off. Hands up. Got any more hands up high? How many trios we have? We should have. We only want one trio. So, sir, would you go to the back there and with that person there? There's a trio over there. So, this gentleman's coming back to join one of you. So that's something that you want to do too. We want to keep it only to one trio. That's going to happen with kiddos too. Pretty soon that trio is going to turn into 10. Pretty soon that trio is going to turn into 2 groups of 10. Because we want more opportunities for them to share. Okay, here's your question. Only got a couple more of these and then we'll move on. Let's see. This is a question I want you to think about now because there's going to be some days like, oh, why did I do this?
Yep.
These are days where, okay.
I think it's going to be more than 30 seconds.
Okay. We'll up that. We'll go 45. So be thinking about that. And you do want to give kids good 30 second to think time. What are they going to say? AIDS. Whoever has the earliest birthday month.
What day?
Who's my A's? Raise your hands. Yeah, and you want to be careful with what age group you use that with, because you could be here all day figuring out whose birthday's first. There we go. All right. So we'll up that time. Let's see. Who's going to start? My A's. Let's see. Who's going to go first? A's, you will start. We'll go 45 seconds. And begin. Thank you, partners, for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Going to do this one for a minute. And because we have that triad will let you know when 30 seconds is up, okay? And go.
It was okay. I don't know. I was doing like this classes and like so I don't know. I just kind of like mathematics. That. I don't even know. Stuff. So like yeah. I don't know. I think it's like yeah, so I did math. Like I did math.
All right. Let's hear a little sharing. How about over here? What'd your partner say?
So, Leah wants to go to teaching because she's passionate about math and computer science, and she knows that a lot of kids aren't, and so being able to light a fire in their bellies, like, this can be fun, it can be, and it's information and skills that you could use to make a career out of it.
Nice. And your partner?
And so this is Katie, right? Okay, and she's interested in being a special ed teacher as well as being a principal, because she's really passionate about special ed because she wants to like help kids who may not be able to advocate for themselves, and she wants to be a principal because she's really interested in curriculum, and she also likes being in charge.
Power. Yeah, very good. And no shortage for jobs for folks in SPED, right? Goodness, write your own ticket wherever you want to go. Gentlemen.
This is Ken. Ken is wanting to teach math. His real drive towards teaching was that he finished his degree in engineering and didn't find any great job, and so wanted to do something meaningful where he just wasn't lining somebody else's pocket with cash.
Okay.
He ended up in education.
Very cool. And your partner, sir? Ken?
Really kind of similar. We already talked about this a lot today.
All right.
Same idea, like what's it meaningful, but also.
And what subject or area? Biology. Okay. Cool. Hey, this is called a gambit, and a gambit is kind of a fancy way of how we're going to part. All right. So this is called the mirror gambit. And so you stand in front of your partner. What you're going to do is you're going to make like a picture frame around him. And you're looking good. Ready to try it? All right, here you go. Face your partner. You guys got your triads. Okay, got your fingers. Ready, and go.
Looking good.
And part ways. those hands up. All right. Here is your question. Talk about this maybe a little bit already. Might have come up a little bit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so that's best teacher you've ever had. This question's going to come up here a little later on, too. Okay. A's, you are the people with your heads closest to the floor. Who the short people? This is where you have kids standing back to back, and I'm taller. Who's my A's? Raise your hands. Okay, let's see who goes first. A's, you go first.
Okay. First.
We'll go 30 seconds. And begin. Second partner. And I'll bump this up to 45 seconds for our triad. Where is my triad at? Oh, there you are. I see you. Okay. Best teacher you ever had. Go.
Best teacher I've had is
Sorry. Nice. Hey, let's hear what partners had to say. Let's let you two right there.
I'll start with you. So Cheyenne said her best teacher was Mr. Daniels, and she's from Sheridan. And it was because he was kind of a hard ass on her. Like, she was writing a letter grade, and then the final dropped her to the next letter grade under it, and she was like, went in to talk to him, and he said, I'm not bumping it up, but you can come in and tutor for me next semester for his special ed class, right? And so she came in and did that, and so he was kind of like a hard ass, but a fatherly figure too, so it was good for her.
And that's one of the toughest things coming out of school too, is because you want so much to influence kids, and in that line of, okay, I want kids to like me and I want my students to like me. That's a nice lesson to take with you, because they're not always going to like what you have to say. And that's right up there with moms and dads too. They'll tell you too, I'm not your friend, I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I'm your teacher. You know, and that's kind of a nice thing to have in your back pocket too when you become parents. Is I've got my own children, and you know, it's because I care about you very much. Well, I got to put my foot down. It's nice to be able to have that already in your toolbox. How about you, Cheyenne? Okay.
Well, her favorite teacher was Mrs. Ringler because she had her from K through second grade, so she had that 3-year kind of bond, and she was a really good storyteller and like really personal with students, but also kind of a hard ass.
Nice. So you had the same teacher K1,
Yeah,
2?
it was kind of a weird school. There was like K through 4th, and there was probably like 15 students in the whole school, so we were
Very
really
cool.
small.
Cool. Great experience. So that's something that we're kind of looking at Wind River, because we have a small district too, where we just have 2 teachers per section. And now our population is such where we just have some sections where it's just 1 teacher. Like this year I'm by myself, so I have 26, 27 kids. Usually I have 16 or 14. I'm really lucky in that But now we're looking at next year. Maybe we'll go 4 or 5. So that's kind of something that could be coming down the pipe. And let's see. How about you two?
This is Bailey.
Okay.
And she said that one of her favorite teachers was her secondary French teacher, Mrs. Gasway. Mrs. Gasway. One, because she had an awesome name. 2, because she just kind of influenced her a lot and made her kind of want to become a teacher. And 3, she also she goes back every once in a while and this still helps her, like lets her teacher aid a couple times, lets her kind of just sit in and observe in class. And also she was really sarcastic and funny. She loved that.
That'll stick out for kids. How about you?
Olivia here. Her favorite teacher,
I didn't hear your name.
Miss Goss,
Okay.
and it was agriculture. Yes, okay, agriculture, and then one other one. And she liked her a lot because she was just a great influence and was really sweet to all her students.
Nice. Did anybody had a favorite teacher or someone that was their best teacher that wasn't a teacher? Okay. Because that's something we're going to talk about too. Because that's something that we want to maybe help kids with the mental shift. Is that I'm not the only teacher in this room. We'll talk about that here in a second. So just stand tight for a second because I think this next slide has a special instruction for us. Let me make sure that's where we're at. Okay, let's see. Okay, now this is what I want you to do. I want you and your partner, you're going to stay with your partners, and you're going to get with another partner. So you form a team of 4 really quickly. There might be a team of 5 too with that triangle. Go ahead and go. Okay. Yeah, you can move around, get so you have it. Should have one team of 5 and everybody else in groups of 4. Do we have that? Are we missing somebody? Or do we have 2 groups of 5? Group of 3 back there? Okay. All right. So this is what you're going to do. You guys are now a group for the rest of this class. So with your team, what you're going to need to do, let's see, I think I have a, so this is what I want you to do. Pick one person, come over here and draw a number. Then I'm going to put these numbers down on tables and you'll match them up. They're 1 through 8. And I'm going to just put them on tables. So go ahead, send a person up, grab a number. There's 2. There's a 3. The rest of you can go gather your stuff because you're moving. The rest of you can gather your stuff.
1. You can I didn't know that you 2 were 1.
Oh. Okay. And I'm going to have you guys arrange yourselves, please. Sorry. Were you sitting? Would you guys please sit so you're sitting at these 4 spots? Don't use the 2 chairs at the end. Sit these 4 spots. It's very specific quiet, and I'll show you in a second.
Sorry. Oh, look, it's the iPad. Okay. Oh no, he's actually going to show us online. Crap, why did I say that? What's your name? Ariel. I'm Leah. Leah. Okay. I'm Liz. Liz.
This is my team of 5.
What? No, that's mine. You shouldn't toss that. It's $100.
Everybody got their own belongings? Almost had a pen jacking over here. Okay. Yes, sir. That works. Thank you, sir. All right. Cool. So, what you've done just now is you've made yourself a team of 4. And let's get back to where we're at. So we've done all this business. Okay. This is your team for the rest of this period. So you got your number already. And you guys are sitting in your teams. and you've already got your stuff there. I'm ahead of the game here. Now there's a piece of paper sitting at your tables too, and it's laid out very specifically. It says 1A, 2B, 3A, and 4B. Ones, would you raise your hands? You're sitting in that one spot. There you go. Now, take a look around. Keep your hands up high. And this is on purpose. My ones are sitting in the same spot, the same position at the table. Okay, go ahead, ones, you put your hands up. Twos, threes, fours, and then our one group of five. So what would happen is if there's more than one group of five, we might do a triad. Yes, ma'am.
So there is a group of three over here.
Uh-huh.
Coming back, one person from group of five over.
That'll work. Would you mind doing that, please? Thank you. There's always somebody in the room that helps keep the teacher straight, and we love it. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to talk about the mixed pair share activity that you just did. So this is what we'll do. The person sitting next to you, ones and twos, you are elbow partners. Threes and fours, you're elbow partners. Ones and fours, you're face partners. Twos and threes, you're face partners. Because sometimes I'll say, hey, face partners, you guys will share. And the nice thing about these cards, too, is you know who A and B is. A will go first, B will go second. Okay? But what we'll do with this activity is we'll just talk with your elbow partners. And I'm not going to give you a time. We'll just go for a little bit and just kind of bounce back and forth. Okay, mixed pair share. What do you think about that activity? Can you see yourself using it in the grade that you would want to teach or the subject you want to teach? Give you a couple minutes. Go ahead and go. Elbow partners. Go ahead.
So I could see myself using it. If I like think about the activity as a whole and how we use it. But I don't know if I use it like we're using. I mean, I'd probably use it as like an icebreaker. It's a good way to form groups, stuff like that.
Situate and to you were second grade? First grade. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think for high schoolers,
yeah, it kind of forces
I think that's
kids
important
to
too,
also
just
like
because
work
I do
together
and
meet with people they don't want to talk to people.
Really close
But
off,
I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I'm kind of worried that if I use this too often, then people will get annoyed.
I think if you do it too often.
Because I can also see how this could get annoying after a while. So
that's why you have a variety of activities.
Yeah. But it's definitely
about 20 seconds
like
left.
icebreaker. Yeah.
Definitely. This would take
I just need to remember the activity. That'll be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like all of the stuff we talked about in all my different classes, the remembering it.
Yeah. Implementing them actual
10 seconds to wrap up.
It's pretty time consuming. So I think just like if you see like the kids need to move around, I think it's a good way to
And time. Back there, number 4. What'd you guys talk about?
You should think it'd be a good idea. Michelle brought up how she's secondary, so we discussed how she would probably have to use it more sparingly, because like the younger kids.
Sure, and you could feel it too that this one was almost going a little long. It's like, okay, it was about one question too long. You know, you can kind of feel that. It's like, all right, well, and as you get into it, you might just do one fun question and one concept. One thing that's really nice about this, you're up and moving. Gets kids off their butts. So huge piece for that. That's, you know, when they talk about brain breaks and that kind of stuff, this is great for it because they're not really thinking about moving. They're thinking about, okay, what are we talking about? And you're getting their blood pumping. Okay. So, twos, would you please come up here and grab materials for your team for this next piece? There's 4. There's 4. You betcha. There's 4. There's 4 or more, I think. There's a few. You're short. I will. You betcha. I think I gave you about enough there. You might be short. You need one more? Okay. So you see how this works out pretty handy already for somebody to help me with materials. We'll choose a number, and then I don't have everybody coming up for one. I've got my helpers. Okay. So what this is, you'll see here, this is a seating chart, and maybe I'll see if I can get this document camera to work. Okay, good. All right, so this is my actual class. Now their names are listed in ABC order. But what I want you to imagine is this, that I have this roster lined out from my top achieving student all the way down to my bottom. That's not the way this is laid out, but this is the way we want it broken down. Because you guys were seated randomly today. My students in these spots, it's not random. It's very intentional. Now, you notice here I have 27 students, so I broke them up into teams. I took the top quarter and I marked them all with H's. Do you see that for high? The next set is MH for medium high. The next set, medium low. The next set is low. Because what I want in each team is I want somebody from each team. I want somebody from each level in a team. So, and you see how I have them listed here. This is their groups. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the table numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So high up there would be a high 1. With him would be Thomas and Brianna and Mac. That would be a team. 2s, table 2 would be Adeline, Ford, Kelsey, and Lee, and so on and so forth as we go down. They would sit like this for 6 weeks. Then it's time to switch. Now you notice here, also where their position is also very intentional. Now, not always will I keep my highs at 1. I'll mix it up, but I want them in the same position. Because I might say, 1s, we're going to do a 4-corner discussion. 1s, you're in that corner. 2s, you're in that corner. 3s, you're in that corner. 4s, you're in that corner. Now all of a sudden I've got my level kids together. Maybe I'll take my 4s and I'll work on a math lesson. Yes, question, yes?
Yeah, may I ask what the level is based on?
So with this particular bunch, it's probably with math. Okay. I do math or reading.
So is it it's not like it's based off of standardized, it's based off your...
Good question. So it is based off standardized.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is I'll ask the teacher before, because I'm in such a small school. Maybe your first shoot out the gate, you would just kind of put them together till you can see how they're functioning, but that's an excellent question. How do you know? And the standardized is just a snapshot. That might not be really like kid. You could say, gosh, that kid tests low, and I know they're more with it. But again, it's just a starting point. And by no means is this kid going to be stuck down here in the lowland forever. The point is to give them some help and support. Because these are the kiddos that are really reluctant to start writing. They're reluctant to do their math, or they're reluctant to get started. Now they got a team to help them. Another thing that's very intentional. Notice how who's in spot 1 and who's in spot 3. Highs and medium highs are not elbow partners. Because we don't want low and medium low elbow partners together. We want them interacting with other kiddos. That's why they're base partners with a 1, or they're side partners with a medium high. Because someone between the two of them will get it. Next thing, how do you mix it up? Well, after 6 weeks, it's time to switch them up. But I want to have the kids mixed up. I want them with different people. So take a look here in this area right here. They're sitting, now the first 6, they're still at the same tables. But now Thomas is now part of group 2. And then we rotate down the line. Isaiah would be part of group 2. And then there's another kid there. I don't know if you can see it on your paper, but there's a way to rotate it where you bump each kid up a notch, so that way they keep getting different people. Is that making some sense how that was done? And I keep this sheet because every 6 weeks I'm going to rotate that class. I'm going to rotate that team. Now, here's the task for you guys. Over here in this column where it says elbow partner, well, I guess it doesn't say elbow partner. This little sketch up here is kind of showing you the way it's done. And I guess the way you guys are seated, it's actually turned like this, where your 1s are right here, 2s, 3s, and 4s. But you can see how base partner and elbow partners work. A really nice, fast way to pair kids up. Now, group 1, it's Kai, but I've got Thomas sitting over here in position 3. Then Brianna, then Mac. Adeline. And then Ford's in position 3. Well, Kelsey's in 2, Lee's there. Sammy, position 1. Daisy across from her. She's number 2. She's my middle high. Stetson's in 4. Josie's in position 2. This is what I want you to do, you and your elbow partner. Finish filling in these groups. Who is in the group with Jasper? So Jasper, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jasper, we're going to look here in the group. First 6 weeks, Jasper's number 4. Go down the line, and where's the number 4 here? Remember, they're in position 3, so Jasper's part in Jasper's group is going to be Samuel, and Samuel's going to sit diagonal from him. Go ahead. Take a couple minutes. Fill that out.
Okie dokie. Cool, cool. So now we find the 4th. So Samuel is in the 3rd diagonal.
So you're working with your elbow partner. Talk it over. This is not a test.
Is Keegan
You guys are supposed
right
to
in
talk
front of
about it.
Jasper?
What we want is we want 4 identical papers.
I thought next. Wait, what do you mean in front of? So
Like,
she's
face partner.
I was just going according to the one above. I honestly was not going according to the
Keegan.
Oh, okay.
I was just going. Josie is above Keegan, so I'm gonna put him in the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah. But then he's in, well, 4, but he's in C2.
And then
So-
Troy is the
Yes. Yeah. And then that just leaves, what's Troy and the last spot. Awesome. Cody. So we now do the group 5s. Karen is diagonal. Kylie is above. And Janessa is in the lower left corner. Just Kaija, and then Logan is diagonal.
So then does the last group just not have a 1?
Yeah, I don't know. There's.
And then Ashlyn is
Because you would have
from Logan.
Blue Star.
And then Iceland.
In position 2.
So Ashlyn, because she's
Ashlyn's in the 2nd.
And then
so I guess the last group is just
and not have.
I think so.
Not yet.
Okay.
The 7s. Make them a group. Yep, they would be a group of 3. Perfect.
But now it's just a group
Yep,
of 3
7s
at
will
the
be a group of
bottom.
3.
So on the bottom is Blue Star. So bottom right is.
I don't know if you can just do it. Kai is from the
Oh, we need to make the last group because there's 7 in this one, but the highs only have 6.
I'm not
but
sure.
these
I'm just looking at these numbers.
Yes.
So Kai is still 1. And then if you look at the group 2,
Don't do that last column just yet.
Yeah.
In 1 minute, I want everybody at your table to have that group 1 all done. So check your face partners. Make sure everybody, all 4 of you at your tables, have this first row done. 1 minute. You can get up, move around, help face partner. If you're done, set your pencil down. You're done with that first column.
We have.
Yes, sir. First column. Yep, first column. First team.
Yeah.
No, I did it wrong. It's because they're both the same name.
No, you have. I have that. This one is the.
Yeah, and the name above is both. They're both similar. So that's where I messed up because I was looking at the above name.
Oh, gotcha.
If you're done, yep. If you finish, please pick up your paper, go around and find somebody that's writing still. We're community building. We want everybody to have the right answer. We want everybody to be done.
Do we all have the same answers?
Yeah, we're gonna go over that.
No, we got it.
You changed Kyron to Karen.
Good?
Did I really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, about 20 seconds left.
Yeah, that's Kyron. That's group 5, right? Yeah. KYRY.
All right, looks like most pencils are down. Got one team back finishing up.
My mother has an exhausting camera. It's funny. And she does that to follow you around.
Can I borrow yours, please? Thank you.
Sorry.
You all right? All right, take a look here at the smart board. Sometimes it's not so smart board. This looks like, but this is not an exact science. It's just kind of an idea to get you started. The schools that you work in might not have you do this, or they might not do it as a team, but this is something that a teacher has prerogative to do. And it's something very defensible that you could say to your principal. They are organized this way because it helps with the community building and it helps everybody have somebody they can work with. Because here's something, if you have kids just team up themselves, a lot of times these 4s all bunched together, the 1s all bunched together, and which team are you helping out the most? So it staggers them out. Now, you could go with the philosophy of, well, the 4s, do they ever do any work themselves? Well, if you're confused most of the time, however you get that information doesn't really matter. As long as you get it right, if you could see it right a few times from your partner, you got a better chance of it sinking in. And we got to get these 4s off the hook. Otherwise, they're hating school by 5th grade. When you hate school, it doesn't do much for you. Okay, so I had originally planned for us to go ahead and fill in what group 2 would look like, but I think you guys get the gist. We're going to move on with that, and keep that so you can just kind of see, hey, how is that organized? And like I said, hopefully you enter a school district that kind of uses something like this. But again, if you got a classroom to yourself, this is a very nice management tool. Very nice management tool. Okay. So let's see here. We took care of this. Now, what I need, go ahead and you can set these off to the side. I need 4s to come up and get materials for your teams.
Oh.
We have a question.
Oh, a question. Yes, ma'am. Half highs, half lows. And you know what? That's exactly what happened here. Just list them, and if they're close. You know what I mean? That's a great question. They're not really going to delineate themselves. There's going to be some that are really close. I have some middle highs and middle lows that are a point off, maybe even exactly tied. So, great question. Just bunch them up. Yes, ma'am.
Can I get
Extras, would you hold them up? I got a few out. I just started passing them out.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks.
Here we go. We good? Okay. So with this one, I want to model some reading strategies with you. This is a great strategy for when you're subbing. Great strategy for when you're reading a textbook, when you're reading anything. So this first one is finger tracking. And I don't care what grade, I guess as kids get older, you can tell when they are tracking or when they aren't. But so what we do is this, and this is a great tactic when you got a principal that just walks into your room and happens to be, oh, I'm going to observe you for a little while. I know you didn't know I was coming. Because what they're looking for, are you engaging your students? So with this, I want everybody to point to the title, please. Okay. I almost see everybody pointing to the title. Help your partner point to the title. Now, you guys are all doing good, but these are just little leads that you could do to help your kids. Because what you want to do is this. So there's going to be that kiddo that doesn't want to point. I hate reading. How are you going to deal with me? Well, one of the easiest ways to deal with you is to have your partner help me. Help your partner get to the right side of the page. Because now I'm not harping on that kid. Damn it, how come I got to tell you every time I get to the right spot? No, I'm going to use your buddy. Would you help your buddy get going? And kids police themselves very well. They're more than happy to help. Okay? So, with this first one, so as I read, then I'll say another place to go is, what are the first 4 words? Go ahead, read those out loud, please.
As she stood in.
Okay? Now, where's an extra copy? Teacher needs a copy. You have one? Okay, cool. One more time, first 4 words.
As she stood in.
Perfect. So now you track with me. As she stood in front of her 5th grade class on the very first day of school, she told the children an untruth. Next 2 words.
Like most.
I didn't hear everyone.
Like most.
See how that works? That's basically saying, hey, teacher's talking to me to get off my butt. I need to do my job. Like most teachers, she looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. However, that was impossible. Because there in the front row, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Teddy Stoddard. Now here's another strategy I'm going to show you. This is called close reading. You're going to hear my voice change, and I'm going to stop towards somewhere in the sentence, and I want you to finish it. Are you guys familiar with this? Have you heard this before? Okay, let's try it. So when I stop, I want you to finish the sentence. What's the next 2 words I'm on?
Mrs. Thompson.
You see how that works? That principal could say, oh gosh, I just heard 20 voices say, 20 people are on track. And when I stop, you finish the sentence. Mrs. Thompson had watched Teddy the year before and noticed that he did not play well with the other children. That his clothes were messy and that he constantly
needed a bath.
So you see how that is? There's another tactic. My kids are tracking. Next word. In addition, Teddy
could be unpleasant.
You can use that in any grade. It got to the point where Mrs. Thompson would actually take delight in marking his papers with a broad red pen, making bold X's and putting a big F at the top
of his papers.
And this is where you can compliment kids too. I like the way you're changing your voice when you read. You're bringing the story to life. Teddy's 1st grade teacher wrote, Teddy is a bright child with a ready
laugh.
He does his work neatly and has
good manners.
He is a joy
to be around.
So, with your elbow partner, I want you to try the tactic I just did for you. It's called close reading. A's, you will go first. Pick a spot where you're going to stop reading, and in partner B, you're going to finish the sentence. Does that make sense? Okay. What's the next word you're on? His. Okay? Go. Just read. Take turns at sentences. Go.
Second grade teacher wrote.
Teddy is an excellent student, well liked by his classmates, but he has trouble because his mother has a terminal illness and life must be a struggle. But he is trying to balance his mother.
Yes, I don't know.
Third grade teacher wrote.
His mother's death has been hard on him.
His mother's death has been hard on him. He tries to do his best.
Oh, I'm sorry. Finish the page. Finish the slide. I'm sorry.
And his home life will soon affect him if some steps aren't taken.
Teddy's 4th grade teacher wrote.
Teddy's 4th
Teddy is
grade teacher
withdrawn and doesn't show much interest in school.
doesn't show much interest in school.
He doesn't have many friends.
And he sometimes sleeps in class.
By now, Mrs. Thompson realized and she was ashamed
Of her son.
Mrs. Thompson.
She felt even worse when her students brought
Her Christmas presents
She
wrapped
felt
in
even
beautiful
worse when her
ribbons
students
and bright
brought her
papers,
Christmas
except for
presents wrapped
Teddy's.
in beautiful ribbons and bright
present
paper.
was clumsily wrapped in a heavy
Brown paper.
that he got from the grocery bag. Mrs. Thompson took.
teens to open it in the middle of the other presents.
Some of the children started to laugh when she found her rusty bracelet
with some of the stones missing, and a bottle that was 1/4 full of perfume.
But she stifled the children's laughter
When she
30
explained how
seconds, you
pretty
don't
the
have to be
bracelet was,
done.
putting it on and dabbing some of the perfume on her wrist.
Teddy Stoddard stayed after school.
Teddy Stoddard stayed after school that day just long enough to say,
Mrs. Thompson,
today you
smell just like my mom.
After the children left, she cried for at least an hour.
She cried for at least an hour.
Can I have my other paper back?
Oh, sorry.
Also, was it on purpose that they didn't have any punctuation?
And time. Hey, one more thing I want to show you. That's kind of fun to change it up, especially when you have small reading groups. Because you look for ways to try to change it up, because usually we read and we reread stories over and over. So what I want to show you is what's called a sentence wave. And it's just like what it sounds like people in the audience, they stand up and they do the wave. So what you do is this. We'll start with ones. And then when you complete the sentence. Twos, you jump right in on the next sentence. Then threes, you jump right in on the next sentence. And fours. Does that make sense how that works? Let's have a team model it for us. You ladies look like great volunteers. Okay, you guys ready? So we're on the side of the page that says at the top, on that very day. Everybody there? Okay. Go ahead, one.
On that very day, she quit teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic. Instead, she began to teach children.
Mrs. Thompson paid particular attention to Teddy. As she worked with him, his mind seemed to come alive.
Keep going.
Oh, the more she encouraged him, the faster he responded. By the end of the year, Teddy had become one of the smartest children in the class, and despite her lie that she would love all children the same, Teddy became one of her teacher's pets.
A year later, she found a note under her door from Teddy, telling her that she was still the best teacher he had ever had in his whole life.
Hey, something we like to do too, we like to celebrate people's hard work. So this is what we'll do. I'll say on 3 for team 5, and what you'll do is you'll clap 3 times. So it sounds like this. On 3 for team 5, ready, go. Okay, your turn. Ready? On 3 for team 5, ready, go. There you go. So, rest of your turn. Pick it up from 6 years went by. We'll just do that one paragraph and we'll stop. Hopefully, actually read the 2 paragraphs. Go.
6 years went by before she got another note from Teddy.
He then wrote that he had finished high school, 3rd in his class, and she was still the best teacher he ever had in life.
4 years after that, she got another letter saying that while things had been tough at times, he'd stayed in school, had stuck with it, and would soon graduate from college with the highest of honors.
He assured Mrs. Thompson that she was still the best and favorite teacher he had ever had in his whole life.
Then 4 more years passed, and yet another letter came.
This time, he explained that after he got his bachelor's degree, he decided to go a little further.
The letter explained that she was still the best and favorite teacher he had ever had.
But now his name was a little longer. The letter was signed Theodore F. Stoddard, M.D.
Hey, finish the passage yourself. This is a great read. Finish it. Just independently. Go ahead and finish reading it. If your group's really loving what they're doing, you can read out loud, but finish it. So remember that piece we talked about earlier, what called you to teach? Kind of a cool story for that. Some days when that teacher first started out, on the tough side. But you never know when you make a difference. Dealing with kiddos like that, that's the first thing that I think as an experienced teacher is, now I think of what's going on, when there's misbehavior or something like that, think of it first as a cry for help. What's going on at home? Is there something else deeper that we don't know about? Because when things are going goofy and screwed up, there's baggage that kids bring to school that's crazy, that nobody should have to deal with. And then we expect them they should be sitting there and listening and participate and learn. It's hard to do when you got stuff going on back home. I don't know where dad is. I don't know who's going to be drunk when I get home, or he's even going to be home. So when you got that behavior, try to go there first. Yeah, there's still a pain in the ass, but if you can at least get a feel of pain, and if you let them know too, hey, I know life ain't great at home, but as soon as you walk through this door, you're safe here. And I don't want you to have to live like that. I don't want your kids to have to live like that. So I'm here for you. That's what's nice about 5th grade, because I've got them all day long. And so if they have a little bit of trouble, say, hey, it's easy to just, all right, remember we got to park it at the door. We don't forget about it. I'll help you get through it as much as I can. But you got to still do for yourself. So I love this story because it brings me back to that. Hey, that kiddo's acting up for a reason. There's something else going on. And sometimes they are just a pain in the ass as soon as you figure out, you've got nothing wrong. You got, like my own child. I know there's nothing wrong with you. So, all right. This thing is so much better if you can actually see what I'm looking at. Okay. Talk about this piece real quick, and then class culture. And we'll take a quick break, let you guys get up. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care from kindergarten to whatever grade you're working with, especially young kids. One of the things that makes me cringe the most is when I hear teachers call boys and girls. Boys and girls. Are you kidding me? Let's call them who they are. Ladies and gentlemen, let's help them rise to the occasion. You'll never hear me call kids boys and girls. I'll say kids sometimes, but it's always ladies and gentlemen. Because then if we at least put that out there, here's part of my expectation. I expect you to act like that. Will it be perfect every time? No. But I'm going to, every time you hear me address you, and I'll tell my kids that too, you'll never hear me call you boys and girls. I expect you to be ladies and gentlemen. And I won't treat you like kids. I'll treat you like ladies and gentlemen. Now, back to this. Every year, my very first day of school, the very first 5 minutes we're together. How many teachers are in this room? That's what I ask my kids. So they'll say, okay, there's Mr. Lemley, and then there's maybe a para, 2. Oh, I see more than that. I see more than that. And then some kids will start to figure it out, and they'll start counting. They'll start counting each other. 26, 25, 24, 20, 18. You're getting closer. When I say how many teachers are in this room, I want to hear you say all of us. How many teachers are in this room?
All of us.
How many teachers are in this room?
All of us.
Hey, let me tell you how that works. You've done a math problem, and you've helped out a neighbor. Your little brother's having trouble riding a bike. You taught them how to ride a bike. Somebody showed you how to tie a hook onto a fishing pole. Somebody's shown you how to draw something. Somebody's shown you how to tie a knot into something that they were making, maybe a bracelet or something. You tell kids this. You want to see kids start to sit up a little straighter. You mean to tell me you think of me as a teacher? You're darn right. I learn something from my kids every day. You always, if you got an open ear, you're going to learn something from them every day too. Just the other day, I just heard how a cow catcher could snap a calf's neck in half and kill the calf. Something kids that don't really want to learn that are here for the teaching. I challenge you to do this with your students. I don't care what age. And don't think just because they're in high school that it's too kiddie. Because now I've empowered you. See, when kiddos don't get something, one of the things they'll do is they'll misbehave. You're still a teacher. Now you're stealing the learning. Use that language with kids. You're a teacher in this room. And before I set you off on group work, I'll ask that. How many teachers are in this room? And they'll say, all of us. That's right. Now you need to go to work. You're teachers for everybody. Don't interrupt the learning. Use that with your kids. Now, who's the best teacher you'll ever have? Of course, right away I teach that, of course it's me. But it's not. It's yourself. Yeah, I give you some pointers, and you've had teachers that have given you some pointers, but you're the one that learned it. You're the one that put it in your head. Your kids are going to be the best teachers they'll ever have. Remind them that. All of us are teachers. You're the best teacher you'll ever have. You come to my room tomorrow, I'll ask them, how many teachers are in this room? All of us. And if they don't say it with enough enthusiasm, I'll ask them again. And then I'll follow up. Who's the best teacher you'll ever have? Me. And they get it. So, with that, I'm going to pass out. I'm sorry I didn't hand this out to you guys earlier, but this is basically our agenda for the day. I'll pass this out. I'm going to give you like 5-6 minutes. If you need to get up, get a drink, move around, I'll hand this out to you. You can take notes on it. We just finished up C. We're going to jump into the math piece, okay? So I'll come around. Feel free to get up, move, get a drink. I would say go to the library, but I remember my UW days too. I'd love to go to the library.